Nightmare Before Christmas sees Jack Skellington, who is kind of like the big man in Halloween Town. They never say that he's the king or anything like that, but he seems to be the one that everybody looks to for guidance and for direction as to where to go. He is essentially in charge of running Halloween each year. But this time he stumbles across Christmas Town, and when he comes across the wonder of it, and it kind of inspires him. He decides that he wants to do what Santa Claus does. He wants to run Christmas that year. But of course, because of his Halloween sensibilities, he kind of messes it all up and turns it into something of a horror show. And then because of that, he has to kind of put it right towards the end of the film. Now, this is a film that I absolutely loved when I was a teenager. It really spoke to me as a teenager. I think when I was around 14, 15, I felt like a bit of an outcast. I didn't really fit in at school. I didn't really fit in at college either. And I guess the characters of Jack Skellington and maybe to a large degree Sally, I think I felt something of a kinship with. I think I identified with them in some way because they are both outcasts. They are both creative individuals who weren't quite understood by the rest of the people in their town. I think this is the reason why this film goes down so well with a certain age group. This film does tend to do well with teenagers and whatnot, and people going through, I guess, dark times in their life, when they're feeling ostracised and whatnot, when they're feeling a bit different. I think this film speaks to them, as many Tim Burton movies do. Now, Tim Burton wrote the story for this, Caroline Thompson wrote the screenplay, but it's actually directed by Henry Selick, who would go on to make the absolutely brilliant Coraline. Now, this guy, when it comes to, say what you want about this film, but when it comes to stop motion, he certainly knows what he's doing. This film, along with Coraline, has some of the best stop-motion work I've ever seen, and I'm probably likely to see. But with regards to the story itself and the feel of the overall film, it's kind of lost something for me over the years. And I don't know if it's just because I no longer identify with those characters in the way that I did, but when they're not singing, I find this film quite boring, which I think has taken me a while to acknowledge, taken me a while to admit, because I loved it so much when I was a teenager. When they're singing in this film, I still think it's absolutely cracking. I think the songs in this are some of Danny Elfman's best work, and he's a cracking singer as well. He does the singing voice to Jack Skellington. Chris Sarandon does the voice when he's talking. But as I say, when they're singing, some of the songs in this are amazing. You know, I had this film on, and when the songs were going on, I was engaged. I was looking at the screen. I was watching what was going on. But when they're not singing and they're just talking, yeah, I was switched off. I wasn't engaged as much with the film, and yeah. All I can think is that I just don't relate to it in the same way that I used to. I still look at it and I appreciate it. I see what's going on screen, and I'm looking at the detail in the animation. I'm thinking, man, that's fantastic. How did they do that? And from that level, it's genius. It's still 5-star material. But if you're not engaged with the film you're watching, then yeah, I guess there's just something off there. There's things in the film that still I can relate to, I guess. Like, there's a moment when Jack Skellington is trying, through science, to get to grips with Christmas. He's trying to learn what it all means. And there's a bit later in a song, he sings the line, "Just because I cannot see it doesn't mean I can't believe it." And on that stance, the film does have something to say about faith versus science. Just because you can't prove something doesn't mean it isn't true. Doesn't mean you can't feel it. Doesn't mean you can't have an experience with it inside. And I like that. I like that stuff. But There's also a bit of a downer, I guess, with the plot. I don't think the film sees it that way. I don't think the creators would probably see it that way. But when I watch it, you've got Jack Skellington, who really wants to do Christmas, and he wants to do it well. He's not trying to mess it up. He's actually trying to do some good with it. He's trying to do the best he can. But he doesn't. He messes it up. He doesn't get it right. And then he has to kind of quit it. He has to say never again, kind of thing. I'm not sure I like that message. I mean, when he sings the song about it at the end, when he comes to this realization that he is Jack Skellington, he is the Lord of Halloween Town, not Christmas Town, and he has to kind of accept that. There's an acceptance there. He seems happy enough with it, but the message that sends out to me is a little bit conflicted, because in a way it's saying that actually you shouldn't step out of your comfort zone. You shouldn't try something new because you're going to mess it up. So yeah, I'm not sure how comfortable I feel with that. Like I say, they handle it in a way where Jack is accepting of it, but what if he wasn't? What if he did want to continue doing it? What if he wanted to make it better next time, and not screw it up? But yeah, I don't know. It's mixed feelings this time around for me. So I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. But there, yeah. What do you think about it? Have you seen The Nightmare Before Christmas? And do you relate at all to any of the things I've said here? Please comment below, let me know, and until next time, thanks for watching.